Everyone's got a certain amount or certain percentage that they're locked in. For me, right now, it's probably around 60 to 70%, but I have been 100% sometimes. Like maybe 2 weeks ago, I remember I was 100% locked in. And when I say locked in, it's not even like I'm getting 3 hours of sleep or anything. It means like everything, I'm doing everything on my task list and I'm still getting 7 hours of sleep and I'm still doing everything that I want to do. And life's just so much better when you're 100% locked in. But it is hard to get 100% locked in, obviously. But then there are things you can do to stay locked in. For example, for me recently, like I wanted to make this video because I think I found something that is helping me stay locked in, which is so first off, it's meditating, because whenever I feel like I'm about to get roped into something, meditating is just let me get out of that autopilot or trance state. So whenever I want to do something that I shouldn't be doing and it's definitely not going to align with who I want to be, then I ask myself this question, or I don't even ask myself this question, I just like remember this one sentence, which is, you have two choices. I don't even know where I got it from. I think it was from Instagram Reels probably. And it was like, you have two choices. And then every time you say that to yourself, you don't have an excuse. Because whenever I'm getting into a bad habit, sometimes I give myself an excuse like, oh yeah, I trained 2 hours today. I might as well just scroll for an hour. But then I tell myself like, you have two choices, either. And then in my head, I know that either I could be a little bitch and scroll. And then me being a little bitch will affect my confidence and my self-image tomorrow. And I know in my head that every action I take now will shape who I become in the future. So when I say I'm 100% locked in, 100% of my actions are aligning with who I want to be. And right now I've just done sprints. That's why I'm sitting outside in the very, very bright sun. But yeah, I always ask myself, like, you have two options, two choices. I know you have two options. Yeah, you have exactly two options. Either you do it or you don't do it. If you don't do it, it's going to be hard. If you do it, it's just going to affect your confidence tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, every action you take forms who you want to be in the future. Forms who you are going to be in the future. And so what I did is I created a task list for myself, which I talked about earlier in the video, which is, so obviously there's business, there's business, there's personal, and then there's physical. So business is like 5 outreaches, posting to social media, doing client work, which I've got on my to-do list. Soon I'll have operations managers and stuff like that will take care of that for me. But right now it's on my task list and I have to communicate between the clients and the editors. And then on the physical side of things, it's stuff like sprints, that's on my task list. Stuff like stretching because I want to grow taller. Stuff like drinking 3 liters of water a day, stuff like that. So that's the task list side of it. And then the personal side of things is like starting a conversation with someone new, just because I feel like conversation skills, and especially sales skills, that's on my task list as well, learning sales skills, because whenever I get on sales calls, that's important. But I feel like personal skills are very important and nobody really talks about it too much, but it's all right. I'm still going to do it anyway, because I feel like I want to get better at that stuff. Okay, and then so that's on the task list side of things. And then there's also stuff you can do to prevent yourself or to make it easier to do these habits. So for example, if I don't want to scroll on social media, I've got exactly 3 app blockers on my phone. So I've got the settings app. So I set a time limit for Instagram. It's like 5 minutes or something. So I have to keep entering the screen time password. I know the screen time password, but it's just an extra step to take, and it just increases the friction between you and scrolling. That's the first app blocker. The second one is called 1 sec, like literally 1 second, but sec instead of second. And every time you open an app, it takes you to a different app and it makes you do a deep breath. And then after 5 seconds, you can click continue to Instagram. And the third app is called Opal, which is you have to wait 40 seconds to unblock it or something. So those are the 3 apps that I use to stop scrolling and stuff like that. And then I've also got stuff I do to make good habits easier. So for example, if I want to drink water every day, I have a water bottle that's 1.5 liters and I just fill it up. And whenever an editor sends me like a 1 minute long video and I have to quality check it, because I don't have any operations manager right now, and I have to quality check all the editors' work myself. So whenever I'm quality checking it, I just drink a liter of water or something like that. So yeah, there's stuff you can do to make it easier and there's stuff you can do to make stuff harder. And then you've got the task list, and then you've also got that statement you can ask yourself, So those three really are the things that's helping me stay locked in. Obviously, everyone's got different ways of motivating themselves. Like for me, I just don't want to be a bitch, honestly, like that is the last thing I want to be. Like, when I look at myself, when there's been periods when I'm like 20% locked in and I'm eating junk food and I'm doing all this shit, and sometimes I look in the mirror, or sometimes I just think about myself in the last week, and it's just honestly like one of them bitch moves. And I hate that feeling where you have motivation and you feel like, oh, I need to work harder. I hate that feeling as well. I want to feel like, oh yeah, I'm completely locked in. Everything's going good. Everything's on track. I love that feeling. I hate the other feeling though. So that's personally what motivates me. And also what helps me, like meditation is another thing that I talked about. So those four things help me stay locked in. But yeah, if you do three of those things so if you do all four of them apart from the personal motivation thing, which is you have two choices. If you can replace that with anything that you find motivating, or that you find, because everyone's got different sources of motivation, if you can find something that is actually motivating to you, then that combination of those four will definitely help you stay locked in, like it did for me. Maybe you might find something else as well that will help you stay locked in. Maybe you've got a different statement you say to yourself, or maybe you've got a different question you ask yourself, stuff like that. Maybe you've got like a vision board. That's gay, but if you like it, then it's fine. But yeah.